はい、皆さん、こんにちは。私のチャンネルへようこそ。と、シュウジンさん。
こんにち
Welcome
は。
him. Today we are back in Japan and we're sitting in the park and we're drinking some absolutely gorgeous Nihonshu from Giri no Ryoshin. Arigatou gozaimasu. It's absolutely delicious. 飲んだことある？
飲んだことあります。
どこ? Where's it from?
This is from Niigata.
Niigata. Oh, good. Well, delicious. So, today we're going to talk about our recent trip. Now that wonderful holiday is over, we are here in Japan and we're going to chat about it over Nihonshu and perhaps give some advice to anyone who's interested in going to the UK or overseas. 最初に喉乾いた？
ありがとう。
乾杯。
いただきます。
美味しい。How do you feel being back? Like, are you happy to be back?
Well, it's not like happy to be back. It was first time visiting UK, and 2 weeks. It's a good amount, I think.
Yeah.
You can feel, the culture and people, but at the same time, a little bit like, I want to stay more feeling.
Okay.
And of course, after coming back, so busy. So many things I had to do on my work. So like busy.
Yeah. I mean, I think for Westerners, like a month holiday is kind of fine. It's a holiday. Whereas I think in Japan, 2 weeks is a really long time. So thank you for taking that time. And I stayed longer. I stayed for 5 weeks. So to be honest, I think I was kind of ready to come back. And when I got on the airplane, I could hear the sound of like Japanese and the food was Japanese taste. And I was like so happy to be back. What was something you saw in the UK that was kind of like a surprise to you? Maybe the first time you saw it?
So yes, it was my first time traveling to UK, and on the plane to go to UK, I saw the news about the Queen's death, and it was very shocking and surprising.
I think you actually flew on the day that she died. So when you landed, I was like, did you know? And I think you saw London at such a significant day, and so many people coming to London. And that was a really historical moment that you arrived.
So some days the city of London is full of people, but some days every place is like a cordoned off. So kind of like we see like empty streets. We can walk around. Of course, all the shops are closed. But, also like the way people dress up, even the young ones to the old, most people like wear shirts, and it's not like very colorful or in a way like very like trendy fashion, but more like standard,
classic
kind of thing,
thing,
but a little bit like elegantly, like shirts or nice. This is I got in UK.
Yeah, it's very nice on you. Many people that I've spoken to in Japan are quite familiar with London, but when I talk about my hometown Swansea, for example, just a small town, they're not so familiar with it. So did you know about various places around the UK?
No.
Right.
So everything was new. We stayed a few days in London and then move on to one of the oldest town, Bath. And we saw the Stonehenge.
Good.
Then we visit your hometown. It's all places are so nice, and like this town is, the buildings are old, but made it so clean. So it's kind of like walking inside beautiful like museum or walking in a movie or something.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So, yeah, it was a good experience.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's your first time in the UK, first time to meet my family as well. How was that?
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah? Okay.
They're so welcoming and, warm-hearted.
Good, yeah. It's so lovely how, everyone got on so nicely. And, yeah, we just had fun, didn't we? What was your best experience in the UK?
Well, of course, meeting your family, enjoying time with them is my first priority, and it went so well. We had a great time. So it's good.
Good.
Yeah, and as I said, one place I asked is to visit Stonehenge, and I'm happy, I was able to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm glad that we went, but I would never have suggested it myself. Did you feel some kind of spiritual feeling?
It's just a place. It's like middle of nowhere and a huge stone, and it's just amazing. Just like looking at Egyptian pyramid or something, and even more mysterious.
Really?
The way, the huge, rock, float for long distance.
Yeah.
And much older than pyramid.
Yeah.
How did it happen?
For me, I love that feeling I get from being in Hakone or going to an old shrine like Meiji Jingu, for example. That feeling. Did you feel that same sort of power at Stonehenge?
Yeah, it just again in the nature, no buildings around, around it. We have to kind of walk, maybe 15 minutes to get there, and walking in the field, and all the process felt refreshed.
Yeah. I see. We spoke a little bit about your trip, your time in the UK, in the taxi journey on the way back to the airport, and you were very polite. You mentioned the things that you enjoyed and the good experiences you had. But I wonder, what was something that was not so great?
Well, it's just 2 weeks of visiting, and I didn't feel anything bad or wrong. I heard for many people, food in UK, yeah, it's not so good.
Right,
but amazingly, we had good experiences. The food at home, your family food was great, and the places you took me, it's a nice food, The great thing is just as Tokyo, you have variety of different country restaurants, and there are so many Japanese food restaurants too.
Yes.
And I love beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it warm?
It's not ice cold Japan, but still I can taste when the beer is so ice cold. It feels good, but sometimes you don't feel the taste.
I see.
But a little bit not too ice cold.
Yeah.
You can have the enjoy the taste.
I see.
Yeah, that was good. And pisco sour.
Pisco sour, yes.
Your dad's homemade pisco sour.
Yes. For those that don't know, pisco is a South American liquor. There's a fight between Chile and Peru as to whether it's Chilean or Peruvian, but basically it's very well combined with lemon juice, and my dad makes some excellent pisco sours, and we enjoyed those together. But yeah, it's interesting about the beer because I've never ever drunk beer. I don't like beer, and I hear a lot of people saying about the UK that the beer is warm. So yeah, it's interesting. Thank you.
Yeah, but one thing I noticed is it's not very serious problem, but in UK internet is a little bit slow, and it's a little bit hard to find Wi-Fi and stuff.
Yeah, even I was surprised by that.
Yeah, so I'm glad I brought this pocket Wi-Fi, so I'm always connected. So I think if you visit UK, of course, if you go in a hotel or somewhere, you can find Wi-Fi, but it's much easier and shore connection.
Yeah.
So you don't have any stress on internet connection.
That's such a good point. Such a good point. And for me, I'm trying to upload YouTube videos in our home, maybe it takes like 5 minutes to upload a video in Japan, but in the UK, it was like 3 hours remaining. I was like, oh my God, like I'm never going to be able to do this in time. So yeah, that's a really, really good point. Wi-Fi in Japan is much faster. I'm British, and I've lived in the UK for a really long time, but there are certain things about Japan that I got so used to that I was shocked, and I feel like you were, you're very flexible and easygoing, so you were kind of cool about it. You seemed cool about it, but for me, like I struggled a little bit with like cleanliness. Could you talk a bit about your perspective on how clean things were?
For Japanese, like before we eat, we kind of wash hand or clean our hand from moment to moment. So
totally.
yeah, I brought some little wet tissue, so it was good. Like it's so easy, like before the meal, or clean my hand.
Yeah, I struggled with that a lot because there are so many little picky snacky things like, but there's no oshibori and there's no way, when you're walking around London and then you sit down, there's no way to clean your hands. And I think that's a really good example of how I've just become used to the Japanese way. Certain aspects of Japanese hygiene and cleanliness I missed when I was in the UK. Like there was nowhere for me to put my bag. I'd have to put it on the floor or, hold on to it, put it on my lap.
Yeah, but one thing I was surprised is every toilet has a strong hand dryer thing.
That's true,
It's very strong, and after washing hands, it dried so quickly and completely.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I miss hand dryers in Japan actually, but I think that's because of Corona.
Yeah, also even if it was working, a little bit like weak, so you don't really completely get dry. But in UK one, like
your hands are like
completely dry.
Could you see yourself living there?
I don't know. Like I didn't think of that way.
Okay,
but probably buying a house or renting a room near London is so expensive now.
So expensive.
So yeah, it's a beautiful place. Like you feel like living in a historical town, and foods are good, drinks are good.
Did you feel that it was really expensive?
Yeah.
Right.
Even the lunch, maybe 2,000 yen, 3,000 yen easily. If you have a little drink and a little bit nice place, 5,000 yen. In Japan, for the lunch, that's very expensive and nice lunch.
Good. Okay, well, thank you for sharing today. Thank you everybody for watching. If there are any things that you would like to know more about, please do leave your comments below. And until next time, bye bye.